Hello world, WayofTime here, bringing to you another episode of EEPower. Now right here I am currently looking at my industrial steam engine storing all of the megajoules that it possibly can. Now I'm hoping what will happen is that when it reaches 30,000 megajoules stored it won't explode, but oh, guess it did. Dang. Well, I learned my lesson, that's for sure. Apparently, these things are dangerous and can explode. Therefore, I'm going to have to re-put my stuff and also think of some form of way to make it not explode. So the energy has to be usable, or I'm going to have to suck it up and have just the waste energy going to this machine, this quarry. So I'm going to rest up, and thankfully this thing didn't get explodified in that little explosion, but it could be a lot worse. So let's go upstairs, figure out how to solve my stupid mess. Yes, so I haven't really done anything while I was away. I was just doing some of this. This I'm going to have to refuel with some charcoal. I already know that, but that can be remedied easily by going into this array. Now I'm thinking that a good idea might be to start my little experimentation with some industrial craft stuff. Though that stuff is going to have to wait a bit, I'm not sure how I want to embark onto that just yet. Pretty much, I'm not going to embark on that just yet because it's going to be a little annoying. Now, this steam is obviously going to be wasted. That's an unfortunate thing, but considering, I think I can manage. Now let's just manually refuel this machine. We'll think of some sort of railcraft way to stop it from pushing into this. Maybe not. Maybe we could just take it off a filter. That might work. So what I'm thinking of doing is just adding another engine going here, so that only the runoff comes off, or this could just simply be a dedicated line going into this. Now, first things first, though, we need to make the engine. And we're also going to need to remark our quarry because that kind of is important. So let's get our remaining stone gear, pair it up. And no, I'm not going to NEI anything in because this was my own bloody fault for not doing any sort of testing whatsoever. That said, yeah, it is my fault. It's completely my fault. There's no going against that. It is my fault. So I'm just going to add another thing to this engine bank. And one of the lines is also going to snake its way underneath this way, and it'll be some redstone tubing, not tubing, but please don't correct me when I say that. It is I am kind of used to saying other stuff, but anyways, I need to sort through my inventory after that little mishap rather, and then I'll see you in a second. Okay, I'm thinking it's going to be a relatively simple endeavor to expand this. Well, it is going to be very simple. All it's going to really take is for me to lay down some new pipe rules and get that stuff done. So we're going to have to put the new steam pipe stuff going over here. So we're going to need to burst through a lot of the wall to do that. Let's get that simply overdone like this. Is it this way? Yeah, that should work. So let's see. Waterproof piping going to here. We'll put this here. Our lever we'll just simply put over there. So excuse me while I craft that. And we'll put that there, and the industrial thing will go there. We'll need to put the two golden pipes right there. And then we'll have some pipe obviously going like that. And then, more obviously, this will need to go connecting to our steam-filled travesty over here and attach over here. Perfect. Now there is going to be a bit of loss. There's no way to go about this otherwise. There is going to be quite a bit of loss when we go and do this tube system. It's not much of a system, it's just going over to the other side, but that being said, we can power some of our machines more efficiently when we have that going. Now this is going to power up, and we are going to bring everything up pretty much the exact same way that all of the other piping was doing. We'll lose a bit of steam over it, pardon the pun, but that shouldn't be too bad. So I'll just replace these tubes and see you when my sanity remains in check. Once again, like that would ever happen. Now the energy currently being used loosely, quote unquote, by this engine, the thing that, well, it's not really producing any useful energy, it's just throwing it into the pipe and hoping that something will use it. That being said, all of these engines are currently stable, meaning that its output matches its input perfectly. So no big booms will happen, because what was happening with the quarry was that it could not accept the energy fast enough for the engine's liking. Therefore, it could not, at that particular point in time, do anything about it. Now, that being said, it will be a lot more efficient, quote unquote, when we actually get this thing started, because currently right now it is not able to accept more than the allotted, I don't know, what was that accepting? Too few. It wasn't accepting anything at all, really. So, even factoring in the losses, this might actually be a bit better when it comes to partitioning all of the energy out. Won't be the best, but it might be slightly better than what we had before. What we had before is a big resounding boom, which is not something we want for a quarry. Now I'm going to quickly put the landmarks back down. Going to need to make another one, and then I'll be right back after I get everything sorted. And there's a little news I'd like to talk about. Okay, we should be able to just go over here. I think I'm going to take the stairs because my jetpack has lost all fuel. And right-click onto here. Come on, right-click. I want to take your soul. Yeah, fudge. Huh? That isn't supposed to happen. Hang on one moment. Okay, here we are. We're going to place down our lovely little quarry machine, and it will be able to accept power now. Fudge nuggets, that's not the right thing. Okay, apparently this quarry does not like me for some reason. I do not imagine why. And it is not connecting properly with everything else, so I'm guessing I'm going to have to make sure it's not fudged up and solve the issues as soon as possible. Maybe it's going to have to go with each marker individually or something along those lines. Let's see if removing the chest will do anything. So far I've tested multiple times, hasn't worked thus far. This should work though. This is supposed to be connected to everything, and it still isn't giving the correct frame. I'm not sure what the issue is really, because it should be able to get the whole 64 by 64 frame. Maybe if I sub it by 1, but it should be able to handle it. That's what I don't get. Maybe it has to be like this. I don't know. I'll have to do a few more bits of testing, but if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and there's nothing I can really do about it. Okay, I updated to Minecraft, the Buildcraft pre-release 9, and Well, it seems to have worked, but the wireframe is no longer there, which I think is a feature. So I'm not going to rule anything like that out, but it seems like it's working. Now, what I think I'm going to do is not worry about it too much and just let it clear the area. It's probably just deleting the stuff. I'm not sure what it's doing with the items, but another thing I want to do is make some like diamond pipes. I might have some diamond pipes sitting around. Then again, I think I used all of them in my various builds, which is probably very, very, very likely and probably stupid of me. Speaking of very stupid of me, I do not have any cobblestone in this machine at all, therefore it's being useless energy-wise. And speaking about energy, I'm going to actually need to spruce up my industrial craft energy production in the meantime. Now, another thing I'm also going to need to spruce up, talk about a very nice segue in there, is maybe create another peat bog. So this peat bog will pretty much be dedicated to making sure that I can make a lot of, peat for my engine boiler thingy-mabobber up here. This requires a lot of peat, and it's almost at 500. That seems like a good thing. Yes, it is a good thing. And all these engines are going at optimal speed. Now I'm going to need to throw a bunch of cobblestone into my machine right here, so I'm going to have to go down and make some cobblestone and whatnot. Now, the beauty about making a peat bog somewhere around here is the fact that I can, well, canning would be an easier thing. Also, ooh, that's something. I should make a bottler. Bottler will take a sturdy casing, some glass. I've got the glass. Ooh, and I have some peat up here, which will be another thing that I will need. Oh, there's so many things I'm realizing. I should make that little enchantment table right now. So let's actually make that. Storing away our pipes for a later use. We can go around and find the stuff that's required for enchanting, which I do not have in my freaking inventory. There we go. Derp. And obsidian is probably going to be in my builder's chest right here, and I need 4 of them. Now I'll just have a little enchanting room. I think it's upstairs, but we'll put the book here, and we'll just have a simple enchanting table for now. Now, we should use some steel and make a steel pickaxe. I think that's what would be the best. Now, I don't know if this actually can be enchanted. I could have tested it ahead of time, but there's no fun in that. I have a little area which I can put it right here. Now, we'll have bookcases probably into the wall. Nah. 1, 2, 3. We'll have it here. Okay, so let's see. 6, 7, 8 is the highest I've seen so far, so let's go for the next 8. Efficiency 1. Congratulations, you suck. Okay, so it looks like we're going to have to... Ooh, scary sounds. It looks like we're going to have to do a little more stuff before we can actually get to that point. Oh, and cobblestone we're going to need to grab because we need to rock crush this into oblivion. Not the game. We don't want to hurt the game. It will hurt us back. So rock crusher on this level? No, it isn't. It's on this level, recessed into everything else. I was probably babbling about something else that we need to do. Yes, we need to make a bottler. The bottler, the reason we would want to make a bottler is the fact that we have a lot of useless energy, for one, and we also want an automatic way to basically make all of the water that we need. Now, I think the bottler will run off of the useless water that is currently residing in this pipe. As you can see, it's not using anything whatsoever. So, what I'm thinking is that we can just have a bottler up here, since it's going to be required for the peat bog, and we can have a peat bog somewhere around here, at least connected to this general vicinity. I'm going to need to scope out how much we need, but that shouldn't be too much of a bother. So let's make our bottler probably reside here. 1, 2, 3. And the last one here, so the power would go right here. That'll be sufficient, and we'll probably have a good tin production. So we can make the cans, or we can, and all these cans will be used for our peat bog. Now, let's actually check the peat bog, not the peat bog, it's the bog earth, before I get any crazy ideas. Bog earth requires, a carpenter could be used with mulch, but we do not have enough apples. Rather, the apples that we are currently using are kind of used for us. And why are you glitching? Build craft pipe. No. Thank you. Okay. And some waterproof pipes because we'll need that as well. Okay, so making the bottler, let's get that going. Turn this off. Let's go with a good amount of cans. And we'll also need some copper. Must be an easier way to do this. Probably isn't, but oh well. Anyways, so we got some cans. We'll just make the bottler very quickly, and we should be good to go. Now let's make some more cans so we can actually make some automatic stuff. And here we go. So a pipe that's actually not using steam. Wow, who would have thunk it? Okay. A little obfuscated, that's for certain. But oh well, let's fill this up with as much as we can. We got enough energy. And we can a lot of this. Now, we're low on peat, but it looks like the peat can very quickly go. That is not what we want. Empty. Thank you. And you want to wait until this is empty before it goes again. You don't even have anything. What is this thing even bloody doing? It's just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I don't know what to do. Herpy derp. Oh my goodness. What is it? It's alive! Alive! In all seriousness, I should probably do something a little more impressive than what I'm doing right now. Yes, peat bog. Yes, peat bog, peat bog, peat bog. Peat bog will require a bit of sand, so maybe we can just get some... What are you? You know what? You suck. Therefore, I'm not going to worry about you right now. Therefore, we're going to need to take a lot of this sand and move it up. Now, we're going to need probably an automatic crafting table would be the most efficient use of a peat bog, obviously. We're going to need to clear a large portion of area, more obviously, but we can just simply use some of the energy that we have from the things over there. Now, I think the peat bogs actually don't take up too much area. We can probably just place it down here. It should clear a sufficient area. We'll probably want to check how it works like that. Also, once we're done, we should probably we're going to need some more golden diamond pipes rather soon. So we might need to get those done. And do I have any more? No, I do not. However, charcoal, you should go. Coal, I guess you can stay here because you're not doing anything else, but the coal dust needs to be refined further. So let's throw this in. Why not? And then we can refine this into a few diamonds. I think 4 should be enough. The rest of the stuff we can use into other circuits when we get the time. Okay, so we'll just make these into diamonds, and then I'll see you in a few. Okay, I'm probably going to be insane right now by trying to start when I don't have everything assembled, but let's try our best. Now, copper electron tubes and tin electron tubes, I'm sure we're going to need. So let's find our electron tubes. They are downstairs. And why do I have a centralized sorting area if I do not bother using it for everything? Now, these are golden electron tubes. I don't want the golden ones. I want my tin and copper ones. So 3 of these, 3 of these. And we're going to need 2 circuit boards, so let's get those. I think the carpenter is going to require that. So 2 buckets of water should be sufficient. That is good. Actually, we can use some of the cans that are no doubtedly done up on the top floor. Here we go. You should be done. Yes, you are. And you're still full of energy, therefore we seem to be good. Now, once we get these done, we can get everything else ready. We got redstone, we got tin, that's good. Carpenter will feed you with 2, and I believe the recipe is either 6 tin and 1 redstone, or it's the other way around. I'm guessing, judging by my powers of observation, it is the other way around. Therefore, let's get 2 circuit boards, and then once we have those, we should be able to make everything required for the farm. Now, we're also going to require some more of those power tubes. I'm hoping that 16 should be sufficient, though if not, we can always make some more. In fact, it's never enough. It's never enough. We're going to need more. And we'll dive in. We'll have a sufficient amount of sand. We got our 2 circuit boards, and that's all we need. Phew, that was quick. That was close. That was close. Let's just remove that recipe. Put some more redstone in because we're going to probably use that recipe later. Okay, so carrying on, we're going to need a peat bog, which is going to require some glass, and we're going to need the harvester, which is the turbary. I believe that's at least what it's called, and we're going to need some of those other things. Yes, other things. Here we go. By the way, if you hear a loud boom followed by several hissing noises, not my fault. I promise you that. Okay, now that I seriously freaked you guys out, let's make our things. Turbary, that was the right word, and we got our nice little peat bog. Now, peat bog cannot start necessarily right away. We're going to have to feed it some bog earth, which we can make easily. Let's make an automatic crafting table, and we'll just let's just make a normal crafting table. I can't be bothered with the automatic crafting right now. Actually, it's better to get the automatic crafting table set and working, and then add to it later. It'll be a lot better that way. Okay, so we got this. We're going to need a bit of dirt and some sand. Eventually this will produce all the dirt that's needed, but it's a good way to convert all of this sand into useful stuff for once. Stuff being useful, never would have heard of it. Okay, so we're also going to need to make another chest. You'd also think that I'd make a bunch of chests by now, seeing as how much I'm going to use them. Okay, we got this. And apple. An apple a day keeps the doctors away. Or, as one friend of mine used to say, an apple a day doesn't keep the creepers from screwing you. Okay, let's keep this PG-13 way. It is better that way. Okay, so bringing this over here. Let's expand this tunnel, because we're going to need it, and we'll have the automatic crafting table here. Refilling like this. And there we go. We'll have the chest on the top, filled with nice merry riches, such as dirt. and sand and some questionable material, which is not PG-13. Okay, there. Okay, we got the bog earth, and all we're going to need is either a redstone engine or an archaic engine. Either one will suffice, really. It doesn't matter. This still has enough water. I'm gonna steal one. Oh, I said one of them, not both of them. I only wanted one. There's only so much love I can handle. Okay, we'll keep that going, and this one will need a wooden pipe, which I think we have enough of down here. If you're getting dizzy, hey, at least you're not steering. Actually, it'd probably be better if you're steering. You wouldn't be as dizzy anyways. See what I get myself into? Madness. Complete and utter madness. So, we'll have that there. This will obviously need to be powering this way. And we'll actually... Ooh, I actually have a wrench. Who would have thunk it? Okay, there. We'll fill this with some stuff at least. And that will go. We can expand this portal later if we actually need to. We might not need to, so we'll have to test that. And we'll test that by just going onwards to the energy. So let's see, how many do we need to go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wish this was all dirt. It'd be much more exciting that way. Did I say exciting? Yeah, I probably did. Just shows the onset of insanity coming on in. Okay, going onwards, let's bring this over and start the process. It now sees that there's possible energy to be done, and hopefully it'll start the bog earth process, knocking out everything that it needs to. And hopefully it doesn't overfill this thing because it's only getting one shot, buddy. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, including it from it. So I'm gonna watch and see what happens, because it might not be far enough. If it's not, that could be a problem. Ah, phew, it stopped. Okay, it seems like it should be sufficient, so it now cleared everything that needs. Actually, it's going to clear some area above it, but all that'll do is probably knock off this stuff, which is not okay. That's not okay. So I'm going to stop it. Take these off. Take that off. Take that off. Unfortunately, I know. It's a little unfortunate, but hey, I might as well learn now before it destroys everything that I hold dear to me. And I don't have any tubes, do I? Okay. Carry on, and let's carry on. Okay, so I'll just make some more tubes. Pipes, stop saying tubes. A kitten dies each time you say it. Yeah, Craft makes sure of that, by the way. I hear it's good feeding material. And this is too much cobblestone. And this is also going to need to be lit up eventually. So I'll need to go on a torch expedition later and clear that area. So that should be good. So far so good, actually. So next thing we're going to want to do is bring all of the product to one particular area. Now the thing with that is that we'll have to wait to see how much area it needs above it. Also, I'm going to clear this. Not clear it, but make it nice and rectilinear. Yes, that kind of sounds funny, but don't laugh. That's how it's pronounced. So while this is going, I think I'm going to check on some of the other things that need my attention. Like, getting rid of all this junk in my inventory. Probably going to need to sleep, and then we should check on the quarry, see if everything is actually okay. Because I'd be a fool to assume that everything is working perfectly, because, it might not be. So I think if it's not, it's nighttime, so I'll go check on the quarry now. Okay, it seems like the quarry is actually perhaps working, in the fact that it might soon be giving me items. Obviously it isn't, but it is working sufficiently, as you can tell by the blue laser. That is going much faster than my turtle was ever going, so I don't think this is too overpowered. Well, the turtle is definitely not as overpowered. Then again, it was such an inexpensive thing, considering. But this just looks more kick-ass. Now, we're still going to need that diamond pipe whenever I manage to get to it, so we'll have to keep our eye on that. And also, we're going to need to keep our eye on our jetpack's fuel level, because that might be a useful thing to sort out before you take on flight in total. And also, this 2x2 thing is giving me a headache. Now that this is at full temperature, we should be good. Oh crud. Oh crud. By the way, I am going to light up that area because that is not going to be a fun thing. Also not fun, all of the stupid stuff that's in there. Okay, bog. I forgot to add bog earth to it. Okay, so that's one thing that I need to have a V8 over. Yes, I just made a stupid commercial joke. Comment thingy. A bobber. Okay, charcoal. This should be enough. Oh, this is definitely enough. Okay, one stack. Here we go. Let's fight some baddies. Hopefully this sword lasts long enough. It most likely will not, and therefore we're going to have to take some damage. Okay, at least I have my jetpack's waning energy again to fight for. Okay, lighting up this area. Course. Okay. So, next thing we're going to need to do is feed this peat bog with bog earth. Then it'll place down very quickly. Now, also, we should take this off and get all the coal. And hopefully not die due to it. Okay. Taking items. That's going to take a while. Okay, so obviously senses that stuff is in the way, but it doesn't have any... that's probably why. Okay. That's not a good idea. We're going to need to have some sort of temporary thing to sort all that in. Maybe once we get all this away as well, it should work. Okay, so obviously after the initial thing, it can only clear dirt, but can't not clear gravel. So that's something that I need to consider. Not sure why. I guess there's some sort of coding reason. Probably has... I see its algorithm. Stupid algorithm, but I see it. Pretty much that it just goes on one set path and tries to clear that path, and if it cannot, well, you're screwed. Okay. Okay, there we go, and it will also feed in that. So we just have to wait for that to get a sufficient amount, and all that we need to do is fill this thing with sand and dirt periodically, and it should provide a good sizable amount of peat. PETA, yay. Also, I don't know if those are necessary, but That should be good. There's some correlation, I'm sure. Anyway, so we can leave this to provide all the energy required for that. Then again, this is going to go at a remarkably slow pace, seeing as we actually have it up and running. So let's get this in. And do we have any gravel? No, we do not. So another sand shall do to get it started, and then we're going to need to pipe all of the peat and dirt into this sorting network. Maybe I'm just going to need to find a location that will be sufficient. Obviously that will not do, because it kind of is, in the wrong place. But we can probably, I'm gonna think about it a bit and try to find a good pipe location. Okay, I made a patch into the sorting network. It should be able to handle all of the dirt and sand that this thing is receiving. Now, there are quite a few holes that I'm going to need to patch, unfortunately, because of, well, the nature of how I do stuff is horrible, let's just say. Let's just leave it at that. Yeah, this is gonna go very well. We're gonna need to make some facades so that everything is covered. I don't think we want to really see all of this glorious handiwork, and all of this cobblestone is starting to get on my nerves, really. So what I'm thinking of doing is, our compressor is pretty much almost done. 4 shall do. We can just combine, 3 shall do actually. We can just combine these into some more diamond stuff. And then once we have that, we'll just make a diamond pipe, a set of them at least, and then we can make some more fun stuff than that. And obviously this thing is having fun with all of the energy, therefore we're going to need to throw some in charcoal in to expedite the process. Thank you for capitulating. And here we are. Had to say that. Is very anticlimactic, I know. So now another thing I'm going to need to do is go out into some sort of ocean and get some fun stuff. I'm going to need to find an ink sac somehow in a vast ocean. I can just make a quick jaunt over into the ocean biome that I found, and that's what I think I'm going to do. Get like a few dozen ink sacs, because I'm pretty sure we're going to need to get some of that. So I'll do that, and I'll see you in a bit. I think that's the only thing I'll do, in fact. Kill him with my bare hands if I need to. Okay, I'm back. Didn't take too long, and already I'm getting shot at again. Apparently, it's very easy to do. And now we're actually back at the mining thing. So we're no longer using that other mining bot. I like the mining bot though, it gave me comfort. So what we're going to do is probably just make a simple diamond pipe to sort all the cobblestone and dirt, because that stuff is useless in my books. Now we're going to need another glass piece, so I'll grab that quickly before we actually start working. I don't know what I would do without all this glass. It is so useful. I could cry. Okay, so let's make our void things, and I haven't actually used these before, so I'm a little unsure on how they work, but if I believe I am correct, it should be pretty simple. So we'll have this as the diamond pipe, and we'll have 2 outputs. One will go towards a chest, which will be pretty much this one. And unfortunately, it does not like me placing stuff, so let's get that. That'll be good. The other will be the void. So it'll just drop everything that it sees in there. So cobblestone and dirt, I do believe, will go in there, and everything else, i.e. useful stuff, will go into our chest. So let's break the chest and see if it works that way. Okay, got that, and our chest is somewhere in there. Okay. Now let's see. That was thank you for doing that. Gonna have to light up that area somehow. Probably punch holes in the ceiling. Now as you see, everything is getting thrown into the void thing because nothing's useful in this entire junk chest. And I'm out of power. And it shouldn't be too much of a bother. Now let's see if that does anything. Give me chest, thank you. Obviously it does not really hamper it. So all the useful ores and stuff will go into this chest. All the stupid stuff will go into there, never being seen again, because frankly I have enough cobble. Really? Worst comes to worst, I have to take out the void chest thing. And probably wait, 10 seconds until I get a chest full of cobble. Which is not what I want. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of EEPower. If you like what you see, die, skeleton. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to future episodes. WayofTime here, signing off. Have a wonderful day.